Hi there, Graham Smith from ALEC here to discuss what you need to do next for your literacy and numeracy professional development. This presentation relates to the Task 4 assessment for the NCALNE vocational. You may wish to refer to your study guide or assessment guide for further information. Okay, this is just a quick heads up so you can see where you are up to in the training. The graphic on the screen shows how the course tracks through the 7 basic areas required by the unit standards and qualification. You need to complete the Task 4 assessment, which relates to using diagnostic assessment for literacy and numeracy. You can see diagnostic in the green box at the top of the screen in the 12 o'clock position. This task relates strongly to the knowing your learner phase that you can see in the triangle below. Just a quick check. What is diagnostic assessment? What does the word diagnostic mean? Diagnostic simply refers to a process that we use to identify something. We use diagnostic assessment to identify specific skill gaps or needs, in this case, literacy and numeracy skill gaps and needs. A diagnostic assessment helps you answer the question, what's the problem here? Diagnostic assessment may be a specific check on a particular skill, or it may be a broad indicator of general areas that need attention. There are a couple of things that you need to know in order to complete Task 4. More details to follow. One of the things that you really need to know is how to identify the literacy and numeracy strengths and needs of individual learners. Diagnostic can be about finding out what's wrong or the weaknesses in your learners' abilities, but it's also about figuring out what they already know. You need to do this so that you can make your teaching and training more effective, more targeted. In a nutshell, you need to track a couple of learners through a couple of different diagnostic assessment tasks. What does that mean, I hear you ask? Basically, we just want you to have a go. Have a go at doing some of the basic literacy and numeracy diagnostic assessments in a safe and controlled way. There's nothing at stake here, it's just the process we're after for your training. It's your business and your organization's business how you implement these processes afterwards. You need to assess at least 2 learners. Try and pick 2 that you can track through this whole embedded project. Don't pick 2 learners that you know are already brilliant. That would be missing the point and a waste of your time. Pick at least 2 learners that you know could benefit from some increased focus on literacy and numeracy skills development. You need to use at least one contextualized diagnostic assessment. This means that you or someone else has made the assessment fit your particular trade or vocational training area. That means it's not a generic assessment. A diagnostic test or assessment that you've made yourself is fine. You may also want to make use of the National Assessment Tool. However, your organization will need to be set up with that, and it may be complicated, especially if you need to talk to an administrator. The alternative is just to use 2 contextualized diagnostic assessments that you've made yourself. You'll also need to create learning plans to keep track of what you are planning and doing with your learners. There's a separate presentation for dealing with what we expect with regards to learning plans, and you may also want to use the mapping process that you learned earlier to map these learners against the learning progressions to show what they know. You can also map them against the course demands that you identified earlier in the Task 3 assessment. Okay, we really want to make sure that you know how to identify the literacy and numeracy strengths and needs of your learners. We want you to be able to use appropriate literacy and numeracy diagnostic tools. and for you to be able to record, collate and analyze the results using literacy and numeracy focused learning plans. And that's it. Check your assessment guide for more details on task 4, including a checklist of everything that's required. Thanks.